And we're right at the point when we're looking at how Jesus is the Messiah. Jesus is the Messiah. This is the most commonly used title of Jesus in the New Testament, and also since then we speak about Jesus Christ. Now, Messiah, in the Greek, it means anointed. In the Hebrew, it means anointed. Mashiach or Christos, it means the same thing, anointed. And in the Old Testament, there were three groups of people who were anointed. There were the priests, the kings, and the prophets. They were anointed. And so these three anointed officers prepared the way for the anointed one to come, who would be the priest, who would be the prophet, and the king. He would be chosen and anointed by God, and he would usher in the promised messianic age. So when people think about the word Christ, they think of it as a kind of name, Jesus Christ. He is Jesus Christ in the same way that you may speak about others as being Colin Dye or Tony Blair or Janet Brown or something like that. But that's not how the title Christ is to be seen. It's not a surname. He is Jesus the Christ. It's a title. Jesus the Christ, in the same way that you might speak about Mr. Jones, who is the doctor, Dr. Jones. It's a kind of title relating to the person. It's not just a surname. And so it would be very helpful for us to remember that when we read through the New Testament. Then we'll grasp a little bit more about how this is revealed to us. Now, Jesus was publicly anointed as the Messiah at his baptism. But Jesus very rarely uses this title of himself. It may be because the Jewish people would have misunderstood this title to mean that Jesus was claiming to be some kind of political figure, some kind of national deliverer. And so it is possible, therefore, that Jesus didn't like to speak of himself in this way because he didn't want people to misunderstand. Even John the Baptist appears misunderstood because he said, "Are you the one to come, or should we look for another?" And that could very well be that Jesus' life and ministry didn't conform with John's preconceptions of what Messiah should do when Messiah came. And so there are a lot of erroneous views around, and it could be that Jesus preferred to use other titles in order to show them who he really was. But that doesn't mean to say that he was not the Messiah, and doesn't mean to say he refused to acknowledge himself as the Messiah, as some people say. He was and is the Messiah. And when Peter declared him to be the Christ, the Son of the living God, Jesus didn't turn around and say, "No, you've got it wrong." He said, "You've got it absolutely right. And by the way," he said, "you didn't get this of your own accord. It came by revelation from the Father." And but then straight afterwards, he told his disciples not to talk about this. "Don't tell anybody that I am the Christ."